Now, I know that you're in a case with the New York Times, and you
Yes.
just won an important decision. So my last question is, can you just tell us briefly what is the significance of the victory, and what does it mean in terms of the information that you might now get access to about the inner workings at the New York Times?
Well, Dinesh, this is huge. This is a historic victory. And let me just add one more comment to your last question. The media considers themselves credible by virtue of their own decree. So we're credible. You must believe us. And what I say is, no. I trust, as Reagan said, trust but verify. I don't believe that you just tell me something is true because you've told it to me. I want to see this stuff ourselves. So that's really what it comes down to. This New York Times case, we have won in the New York Supreme Court. Judge Wood has denied the New York Times motion to dismiss our lawsuit. That's a big deal. In fact, this hasn't happened in this way since 1965. Project Veritas versus New York Times, a defamation lawsuit. The New York Times had called me disinformation and our videos, quote, deceptive. They did this in late September regarding that Minnesota Somali cash for ballots video that we exposed. And they said that I had used unnamed sources. Our sources were all, you could see their faces. So I said, enough of this. I'm going to sue them for defamation. I have to prove what's called actual malice. That's a legal term. It means I have to prove they knew they were lying about me. It's not enough that the New York Times lied, which they've already admitted they did in these motions. No. I have to prove that they knew that they were lying. And the judge in New York said, there's enough evidence here that seems to suggest that they actually did know. It's an extraordinary thing. And we are going to go through what's called discovery in a lawsuit. That means that I get to conduct depositions of the New York Times reporters. Her name is Maggie Astor. The head of the New York Times is a guy named Dean Baquet. I get to put them at a conference table and ask them questions under oath on videotape about what they knew and what they did. And these quotes, I mean, these are extraordinary quotes, Dinesh, in this judge, and I'm just going to read one quick one. It said, the judge says that the facts show the presence of literally every hallmark of malice recognized by law, including, this is the judge talking about Project Veritas and the New York Times. New York Times set it out with a preconceived narrative motivated by ill will and bias, failing to contact obvious sources of information, relying on biased and non-credible sources, violating journalistic standards, and refusing to retract. Veritas alleges that it has far exceeded that standard by pleading overwhelmingly circumstantial evidence of actual malice. This is a 16-page order by a New York Supreme Court judge, Dinesh. We're making history, and more than that, we're going on offense. It's time for people to start suing these institutions. It's time for us to go on offense. It's disgraceful, and this is that motion. And you're gonna hear more about this in the coming days because this is sort of breaking news here, Dinesh.
Well, James, I love the fact that you're taking the fight to them. You're in a sense confirming what we all know to be true, which is that these are invidious people who have an invidious agenda. So catching them in the act is creating legal certainty when there's already suspicion on the part of the public. It's awesome. I want to congratulate you on all the great work you're doing. Thank you, James, for coming on the podcast.